crazy how you can really make true, genuine friendships on sets, because you hear the stories about how like sometimes actors can be like competitive and like I thought that was how it was gonna be, and I was totally wrong. Especially here in Georgia. Georgia has like a really good acting community. Everybody's so supportive.
I think so too. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you educational lessons and real life stories behind the scenes of TV and film. I'm your host and a talent agent, Jason Lockhart, and today we have a really cool guest who's blowing up. It is Scarlette Amber Hernandez.
Hi.
Hey Scarlette.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing since all this English teacher success?
Crazy. It's so real. You know, it's like a dream.
Are people like blowing you up?
You know, yeah, I'm getting texts from people from high school. I'm like, oh, you remember me? Hey. Because they're like, this is crazy. I saw you in an ad. And it's like a dream. Like, I just can't believe it, honestly. This is just all crazy.
Oh, I believe it for you, you know? Like, I'll never forget seeing you in that SpongeBob musical.
Oh, God.
And I thought you were so funny and so talented, and you had this unique, like, quirky quality. And then, like, getting to know you right after that and see what, like, a good human you were. Like, such a good person. It was just easy to, like, root for you and
Thank you.
watch you become successful, you know?
Thank you. Oh, my gosh. I remember that. SpongeBob. Perkins.
Killed it. You killed it. So let's go back to this English teacher audition. You remember getting it?
Oh, my goodness. I do. I remember it vividly. I remember when I got the audition, I got, like, 4 roles for the project, and actually Monica was the one I felt less connected to. For some reason, it was really hard to do her. I saved her for last because I was like, when you get a role and you're just like, I don't know what to do with this character. It's just like, I don't know. I couldn't tap into it. It was really hard. And so I saved her for last. And then I did it, and it was really hard. I kept going at it, and I was like, this just doesn't feel right. I don't feel the believability. Like, it was just really tough for me. And then my light went out. And then I had these cheap Amazon lights. They were $50. They weren't cheap, but they looked good on Amazon, and I bought them. And then when I had them, I was like, freak. And then so I had my friend Matthew on the other side of the camera holding it because the stand broke, of course. And then I have my brother filming me. And I was like, this is a disaster. I'm not going to get it. And we did the last take, and I was like, I did my best, and that's all that I can do. I sent it, didn't think anything of it, and then I got pinned for it. I was like, what? For Monica? What? That's crazy. And I remember jumping out of bed and just getting, like, I was just so, wow, And then a couple of days went by, and I was working at Massage Envy at the time as a receptionist, and I had this weird intuition to look at my phone. I don't know why. But I was like, let me just check my phone. I checked my phone, and boom, you booked it. And I dropped my phone. I just started crying and like smiling hysterically. And my boss came out.
In the middle of a massage?
No, imagine. I was at my desk, and I was crying and laughing hysterically. I could see my boss coming in. She looked like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. She's having a breakdown. What's happening? And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, something just happened, because she knew I was an actor. And I told her, this crazy thing happened to me. I can't really say what the project is, but I just booked something. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's great. Do you want to go home? And I told her no, because I needed the hours. But yeah, I remember that. And I texted my brother, Aaron. I tell him everything. And this is really because my win is his win and his win is mine. So like, I just remember being so happy and like being like, wow. And it was my first booking too. And I was just like, this is crazy.
And we didn't know the scope of it at the time.
No, yeah.
It was just a pilot.
Yeah, and we went on a 2-year hiatus. Like, we did it in 22, and then the strike happened, and 2 years went by, and I just was like, I guess it didn't get picked up, maybe. And then you texted me, hey, they want to bring you back. And I was like, oh, shoot, we're running it back. We're bringing the gang back together. I remember we have an English teacher chat. And we were like, guys, the gang is getting back together. And that was crazy. Oh my gosh.
But I know you've gotten pretty close with some of the other castmates, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I consider them family now, and it's weird because when I went and I was like, okay, I'm just here to do a job, right? Because I didn't really know that I was gonna get close to anybody, and I got close to so many people, like Savannah, who plays Becca, and Dave, who plays Jason, and Pablo, who plays Pablo. Those are like three people that I know I can call, like I can like count on them. Like I feel like with Savannah, we didn't see each other for 2 years because we just did the pilot. And when we came back together for the table read for episode 2, when we got greenlit, it was like a day hadn't even gone past since we saw each other. It was crazy, and it's it's just crazy how you can really make like true, genuine friendships on sets, because you hear the stories about how like sometimes actors can be like competitive and I thought that was how it was going to be, and I was totally wrong. Especially here in Georgia. Georgia
Yeah.
has like a really good acting community. Everybody's so supportive.
I think so too. It's more cooperative than it is competitive.
Yeah.
Or it's competitive, but in like a good way. You know, there's, as opposed to Los Angeles, there's just so many opportunities here and less people vying for those opportunities. So there are more wins.
Yes.
From my experience, you know?
Hey, thanks so much for watching Talent Agent Talk. Quick moment of your time, because if you are enjoying this show, I'm guessing it's because you are also an actor and want to be booking, just like we're talking to our guests about. So we have our Improve Your Audition Bootcamp coming up to help you do exactly that. Put together auditions good enough to actually book the job. This is a 2-week boot camp where we bring in casting directors. Some of you will have the chance to have your work critiqued, self-tape, and live Zoom. This is a way for you to not only learn from your peers, but also get self-tape hacks and strategies to make your tape more engaging. This is a 2-week boot camp that's only $37, but there might be a promo in the description to save you a little bit of money there. 6 workshops, 2 weeks, $37 or less if you go to the description. But again, this is our Improve Your Audition Bootcamp. Don't miss your chance to grab your spot so you can maybe be on this show with Jason Lockhart before you know it.
But I think circling back to talking about you as a person too, I have a feeling that show, and part of the reason that show is becoming so successful, is because of the personnel that was hired. You know, I keep saying that casting is not just casting, it's also HR. And obviously, you know, Feldstein Paris is a great office, and they're really good at finding people that mesh well together. And you were new for them,
Yeah.
you know? But they got to see you do 4 roles, and they got to see you slate over and over and got a really good feel for who you were. And I bet you, if you would have just done the one audition, even though you probably did kill it, even though you might have been nervous, it wasn't the same kind of power that they got to have seeing you do 4 auditions.
Yeah.
You know, they got to see a sense of who you were. Who were they going to bring into that world, into that universe? And I love hearing that you guys are all close and friends. And it shows that it wasn't just you being the one special person. They cast a lot of special people and put them together for a special project.
Yes. The chemistry's just there, and we're all so different, you know?
Very different.
So different. Like, we have so many different personalities. You're like, this just wouldn't, you know, when you think about something, you're like, this doesn't mesh well. But it just did for this project, and just in, like, it just was so real. Like, everything that you see on that screen is real. And it's just really cool to see that, because I always love seeing chemistry of actors on TV and off screen as well. And I just find it more interesting because, I don't know, I just feel so lighthearted in my heart. It's just like, oh, you know?
Well, every episode covers something so serious, and yet it's done with the lighthearted kind of
Yeah.
energy, so that it's not so in your face. You get to enjoy the
Yes.
topic.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So thinking about our listeners, our viewers, and like an educational standpoint, you did so many episodes. Is there anything that kind of stands out to you as like, this was a really great lesson that I learned throughout the course of the experience, or maybe one particular day on set?
Yeah, and any time that I did book club scenes, I felt like there was just Brian, the creator of the show, who also is amazing. He acts and directs and writes the episodes as well. He lets you have fun. He lets you have so we'll do like 2 serious takes, and then like we'll do 2 other takes where it's just purely improv, and it allowed me to just like be free, and like it made me think, okay, I need to work on my improv. I need to get better, because looking at these other actors, like they inspire me. Like Savannah, like her improv skills are crazy, and I just looking at them like I want to be like that. So doing those scenes like that, it just made me feel like these sets, not every set's going to be the same. I did the runarounds, and I did my take, and that was it. But with English teacher, we did those takes, and we were able to have fun. So my like kind of like takeaway is just like have fun until they tell you like not to, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I think if your goal is I'm going to have a good time, that's going to wipe out nerves.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So like I feel like that's a huge lesson.
Yeah.
If you're nervous on set, or you're on your first big set and there's all these people around, but you're like, I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah. My thing is, when you book it and you go on set, own it, because you're there for a reason. It doesn't matter how big or small the part is, because you had to go up against God knows how many people, and they chose you. So when you go on set, own it, and don't be cocky, but be confident. And they're gonna see that, and people are gonna want to be attracted to you. Like they're gonna want to be next to you, because like, I like how confident this person is. I want to be like that. And that's how it was for me, because I saw how these people were like the actors, and I saw like they had such confidence, and they owned it. And I was like, I want to be like that, and I'm going to be like that. Because like the first time I was on set, I was so nervous, because like this was my first time. But being around that energy, it does something to you, And just think about, what if you're doing that for somebody else? So like, what if I go on set next time and I'm confident, and the person that I like, somebody who was like me, who was scared and nervous, sees that and they feel something, So I think that's really cool.
That is really cool. And I will say, like, just there was one moment that you did in an episode, and it really like touched my heart, because I feel like I've seen you live so many times and so many tapes and been around you in person. It was when you were talking about the protest.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
I have a friend that did it. And then,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to, I don't know how to, it was just so you. There was no way they could have written the cadence in which you speak naturally, and you brought that to the character. And like, I couldn't commend you more than just like the courage of being yourself on that set, and then to hear you say, and I was having fun doing it. Like, what a win,
Such a win, because you're like, when I went on set, I didn't feel like, I was like, I'm not going on set to work. I'm going to have fun. And that's like the goal for any job that you have. Mm-hmm. When you go to work and it doesn't feel like a job. And it felt like that every day.
So did Massage Envy feel like a job?
I mean, yeah. I was a receptionist. I was taking phone calls. Yes. It's like, I just want to act.
Well, that's all we want you to do too.
Full time.
Yeah. So speaking of which, you got a dream role? Like, what should we be looking for out there for you? Like, what would get you the most excited to book?
Oh my gosh. I would love to be in the X-Men so much. I'm going to say something. I might like get a lot of controversy, but I think the X-Men is better than the Avengers. I'll say it. I grew up on those movies. Like, I remember when I was little, had my thumb in my mouth with my little, I was so little, like, sucking my thumb. I was like 5. But anyways, had my bottle in my hand, my thumb, watching these movies, and I'm like, I want to be that superhero. Being like in the X-Men just would be so cool. Like, I just love the X-Men. Or like, they're doing a live action Scooby-Doo, and I think I'd kill it as Velma low key.
I think you would too.
I would love.
But I'd
to
also
do
love you to
something.
be a superhero.
Superhero would be really cool. I've always wanted to do something like that.
It's funny. Costa texted me a picture of you guys all like working out the other day. Like, look at you guys go.
Every time I work out, I'm like, I'm working out for my dream role. I need to be a superhero.
There you
Gotta
go.
have the gains.
You get.
You know?
I mean, you're there. You're there. You're ready.
One time.
Well, I really want to thank you for, being a guest on the show today, and like, just congrats on everything you have going on.
Thank you.
I feel like our listeners hopefully get something out of today and getting to hear you speak and hear your story.
I appreciate that.
It's just awesome. It's just one day at a time and exciting things happening.
Yes. And you know what? I will say one thing. You are enough. I think a lot. We're our own worst critic as actors. Every time that I was on set, I was like, oh my God, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. But you can't be like that. You're enough. You're good enough. It's going to be hard, though, as an actor, because you're like I said, you're your own worst critic. But you're doing it. This is a really hard job. This isn't easy. So go easy on yourself. I want to say that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I have a gift for you
A gift?
for being a guest on the show. Don't look, but
Okay.
reach your hand in there and pull out a free car.
A free car? Do you know I collect toy cars?
I did not know that.
I collect toy cars and Legos. So this is crazy.
Well, let's see which one you get in here from your Talent Agent Talk episode
I feel like
for being a
this
celebrity guest.
celebrity guest.
What'd you get?
Ooh, I got the. I don't know what this is. Is this a Ferrari? Oh, it's a Corvette. Dang.
That's a pretty sick Corvette.
This is a sexy car. I
Will
hope
that
I
fit
get.
in your collection?
This will fit perfectly in my collection. You think I can fit in here? How small I am? Driving it.
I love it. Well, again, yeah, thank you for being here. It's awesome to be a part of your journey, and
Thank you for
I
having
can't wait to
me.
see more episodes and get you in season 2 and all the
Hey.
other things you're gonna book.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it.
Of course. And thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching. If you would like to be a guest on our show because you also have an exciting booking story or some kind of educational lesson, feel free to pitch it to us. It's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. And thank you to Jesse Malinowski and Get Seen for producing our show. Thank you, Scarlette, for being here.
Thank you.
AKA Scar.
AKA, yes, thank you. Call me by my government name, Scar.
Scar, thank you very much.
It's not my government name, but
Thanks again so much for watching. And if you loved that story and were interested to learn more about the casting office that actually cast that show, then I have some really cool news because our sister show, Get Seen Unscripted, actually had them on the show. So you'll see it right here. Do not miss that episode. Over an hour on one-on-one with that casting director, talking about things that they like, don't like, to help give you the edge in your next audition. So thanks again so much for tuning in and watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.